Hello there. Just check. Oh, looks like everything's good. Good. Alright, let me come sit down. Hello everyone. We are back for God, sorry. So jammer. Bumped my whole self into this table. We are back for part 2 of how to shade. How to that sounds like I'm gonna be skinnering and like just dropping all the tea, but now we're gonna actually learn about shading techniques and more specifically how to use your pen pressure to your advantage. I'm seeing people struggle with that. So, and I've been asked about it also. Sorry, I'm just trying to make this mic stick there where I'm trying to make it stand because it keeps on dropping for some reason. There we go. Should be okay. Should be okay. Yeah. Looks like it. Is it loud enough? It seems very soft. Let me see. Noise suppression is so much. Maybe that's better. Yeah, I think that'll be fine. I think that'll be better. Yes, that seems better. Oopsies. It's falling out. Okay. Anyways. So, I feel like the best way to learn is by doing the practice. But I also realized that I need to divide the practice up into very clear steps for everyone so that we don't feel like we need to just cross the finish line. You know, you need to just finish this picture and just think about what it must look like in the end. Because any artist who has been doing this for long enough will tell you any artwork kind of creates itself unless you're specifically commissioned to do a specific thing. That's different. Then you're working towards a certain thing and trying to make it exactly like that. But if you're just making something, practicing, usually the artwork kind of makes itself. Like you have an idea of where you're going, but you don't necessarily plan the route step by step after a while. But I realize now it's very necessary in the beginning to see those steps. So we're gonna go over the steps of how to create a picture, and in that I will keep on going, hammering on the pen pressure and the shading points. Okay. So with that being said, let's not waste time. Let's go. Let me grab some pencils out here. I usually draw with my Faber-Castell graphite pencils or with the normal lead Faber-Castell, the gold Faber. Those are nice also. I like both of the Faber-Castell series. They're nice. That one, this, and that everything that I can find. Seems like it. Okay. Okay. I'll use this paper to start explaining the markers a little whiles in, but we're gonna not rush ourselves. We're gonna go step by step. So step number 1. I feel like I want to put a card up somewhere that says step 1. Shrink, shrink, shrink. Step 1 is just to start sketching the shapes, the basic shapes that's going to be found inside of your picture. I have no idea what I'm going to draw actually, but for the sake of continuity, we'll keep it to the cartoony anime-ish kind of vibe. But I'm gonna now start doing more my personal style of it, because I believe it's very important to go through all of, like, try, art is really a try everything and preserve the good kind of practice, where you really have to go try out anime, try out cartoons, go try out realism, go try everything and see what try digital, try photo manipulation, try photography, try music, all the different arts until you find what speaks to you most and what you are most happy creating. Don't care about what other people are making, don't care about what other people want to see. Those are not important, and those two things are really not important when you're finding your own style. But practicing will help you find what, and when I say practice, I mean, like, just go sit down and doodle the first thing that comes to your mind. If you can't think of a word, if you go blank, find a random word generator and generate a word for yourself. And okay, a rock, let's throw a rock. Random things, doesn't need to be deep, can just be visually trying to understand and observe and study whatever you're looking at. So yeah, let's go, let's make something cute. What are we gonna make? I don't know, I'll do something that's pretty generic for me so that I don't fluster myself too much, and because the more you complicate it also, the bigger the chances they are of fucking it up. So I would recommend, like, experimenting when nobody's looking, if you get me. So now let's do a little head. Well, alien head, I mean, why not? But this is the point of the sketching, because you're gonna see why I say sketch to your heart's content. Because we will be tracing this onto a different kind of paper to color it and to do like the line art of it. We don't do all of that on the same paper. No artist that is doing this professionally does that. No. This is what's called a sketchbook, because we be sketching. Can you see actually on the camera? Let me just make this darker. I can see kind of. Let's just make the focus. Contrast. I think. Is that good? Maybe. Oh, no, the white line is going to stay there. No, it's not. Should be less of whatever I just did. In the middle, and then maybe we can. No, that's not gonna help. No, that's not gonna help. I can't make the brightness of the camera less now. So I'm gonna have to turn maybe off this light. Yeah, so we can see. Okay, at least we can see now. Okay. Oh, I just need to breathe also. I was running around before this, so I'll just take a breath quickly. Okay, I think everybody has their own way of doing anatomy, but I would highly recommend, no matter what direction you are choosing to go into, whether it be anime, whether it be realism, whether it be cartoons and comics, doesn't matter, just study. Let me just fix this mic. If you can see, other way. It's really annoying because it keeps on. There we go. There we go. Not wanting to work with me. There we go. Okay. Okay. Are you okay now? You're gonna stay there. Good. Great. Because it keeps on dropping. I don't like that. Anyway, I think everybody has their own way of doing anatomy, but I would highly recommend using your good old mannequin and like drawing the mannequin. Draw the mannequin. Don't try and draw a picture from the mannequin. Just first draw the mannequin as it is, and then like move it a bit, and then draw it again, and then move it a bit. So you can just get used to proportions with body parts. Because usually body parts kind of, it's all about like, it's all on a golden ratio. The human body is all on a golden ratio. What that means is like 2/3, and then from the top, from whichever side, it's usually like 2/3, 2/3, kind of like there's a more specific Fibonacci sequence to it all, but in essence it's 2/3, 2/3. So you get used to that. The neck is usually for me like a fucking weird thing to draw, because I need to figure out where I'm gonna put the rest first before I can put the neck actually. Smaller. And then, yips, I usually do like a circle. Sorry for going quiet, but I think you can follow along with what I'm drawing. I will try and voice it over in the quiet bits on the YouTube video. By the way, last week's lesson is on YouTube. If you want to go check it out, you can go see previous sub-only lives on YouTube. Do I like it? No, I don't like this posture. See, this is why most of my sketchbooks are just full of this, because I like sketch little poses out until I find something that I kind of am vibing with. Let me think. Ooh, I have a good one. Okay. I think I got this. I have head over there. I will make the head a bit bigger this time, because I know a bit more about what I want to do. I have a better idea. Actually, I have more of a clear idea. But whether or not it will go where I'm thinking, that's a whole different thing. Like this. I want her to be, as you can see, she's looking down kind of. So like her neck would go like from there to there basically. In the back. You can picture it. Alright. And okay. And also over here I'm working with the HB. But look at how I'm holding the HB. Look at my finger positioning. You see that I'm basically, if this HB was longer, I would have been holding it in the middle, not in the front, not like this. This is for fine detailing. This is for lightly sketching, and I'm going like this. See, like not even with a like this with a pencil. I'm touching it with the side, just touching it. And I like how we can practice doing this thing whenever you're just sitting watching something, or listening to music, or you're bored at work, or whatever the case may be. You can just take any pencil or pen around, and you can hold it here in the middle, and you can just make a line. See if you can make a line that's lighter than that one. See if the next line you can make even lighter, but try and make sure that the entire line is the same kind of brightness, and see if you can make lighter and lighter and lighter lines. And then you try again, then you go harder, and you go light, and see the more light I go, the further backwards I move on the pencil. It kind of helps you with just lightly touching, right? So first with pen pressure is where are you holding the pen or the pencil. And the same will apply for a pen. Let's find a pen here. Alright, if you're holding the pen here, it'll make a dark line. If you hold it a bit long, you can make a little bit of a lighter one, see? See? So, depending on where you're holding your pen or your pencil, that is a big part of pen pressure. You can't hold the pencil or the pen the same way the entire time. So while we're sketching, I really like, if the pencil is short enough, I'll even hold it like this. That's why most people do like basic sketches and studies with like something like charcoal or pastels, because it gives you that freedom to actually be light on the touch. Whereas when you're working with markers or pens or like those ink pens, what do you call it, calligraphy pens, you're more inclined to want to feel like you have to hold it a certain place, although you aren't. So okay, anyway, so I want her to be looking down kind of, and then I have little shoulder keys up there, and other shoulder up here, yes, and then kind of make like a block, a roundish block-ish type of thing for the top, and then usually I make like a circle somewhere to see, yes, that'll work. And then here we'll make the hip. And I like to over exaggerate with my cartoons or comic-ish kind of drawings. Like my non-realistic, my fiction type of the stuff that's obviously not realistic, right? Those things. So, okay. And here's another part of another little trick. Look at where your own elbow goes when you put it next to your hip, right? Where does it go? It goes right about where your belly button. So the belly button will be there. So the elbow needs to go about there, right? And then if you're going to be holding your hands like this, they're going to be in the lap like that. Yes. Nice little basic pose. And the elbow's going to go there. And the other hand. Right. I'll show you more in depth how. So the more furthest along with this process we go, this is just getting the basic idea of what is she going to stand, how is she going to stand, what's the pose going to be. Then the more in depth we go, like the further along we go, the more detailed shapes we'll basically give to each kind of thing. So for instance, I'll start there, and then because this is an arm, arms usually I remember learning it from a book when I was very young, and they said it looks like hearts without the tops. I was like that. I don't know. To me, it more looks like a koeksister. If you're Afrikaans and from South Africa, you know what a koeksister is. But arms basically have like that kind of look to it if it's very well defined. But this is not going to be a very well defined arm because it's a little girl. So we're going to rather make like smaller shoulders, and this part where that muscle would be is just kind of going in with a thinner arm. Right, we'll get to all of that later also. Don't worry too much about it. If the shapes aren't exactly coming out the way you are trying to plan them, doesn't matter, we're gonna get there. It'll do it by itself also. Like that, that's better. Yes. Go. My pencil is getting real flat. That one over there. I'm gonna take this off. Where is all my erasers? Erasers, erasers, where are all my erasers? Na 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 na. Ooh. And it doesn't matter what this thing looks like. Again, I'm going to trace the line art at the end onto this kind of paper so that we can color it with markers, because this kind of paper is not for markers. That's another thing. The medium you're working on, like, you need to work with the right paper for what you're trying to do. If you're just sketching, I like smooth paper for sketching, because I'm not trying to have any resistance. I'm not trying to make nice shadows. I'm just trying to get the idea down. But whenever I'm starting to work with like detailing or shadowing, shading, this paper with like a nice texture on it, the more texture, the easier it is to make like really cool effects. It's like the texture adds to the depth. I don't know. We'll at the end of it all, we'll see that. Okay, I'm gonna just sharpen my pencil a little bit. We're gonna do the rest. And at this point, I will start like thinking about what kind of outfit is she gonna have on, because that will also like maybe change the look of what's going on here. So I am starting to think, what. Every now and then I erase a little bit, but again, it doesn't matter. It's just for my own sake, so I have more clarity of what I'm doing. Like this. Okay. This shoulder, like Sheldon, but the shoulder. It's too big. I know it looks disgusting. I know, it doesn't matter. Don't worry. There we go. It needed to be. There we go. So also, cute small little girl shoulders have this like kind of a flat side there usually, and then it has higher up like a bulge, and then it kind of goes straight, and then to the elbow is usually quite pronounced, right? And then past the elbow it goes like to these little skinny little wrists that have very pronounced wrists again, you see. So, something like that. Hi there, welcome. How are you doing? You good? Thank you for the rose. I will upload this. I promise I will go do it after the live this afternoon. I won't forget again. So you can just catch up with whatever you missed. A trick I will go over again for your sake is, big thing when you're doing pen pressure, what I was showing is, you need to look at where you're holding the pen or the pencil. So firstly, like when you're making dark lines and hard lines, you want to like be able to have control over your pencil, you hold it close to the front. But the more we're just trying to do like light and like shading, the further back on your pencil you will be see how easy it is to make a light. So good little exercise whenever you're bored at work, or you have a little time and you just have a piece of paper around and a pen or a pencil, just do this. Like start with a dark line and try and make a little bit of a lighter line, make another lighter, and try and go as like smoothly towards the lightest line as you can, you see. Basically like going in a gradient. So see how many lines can you make to get to that light line, that very light line, and see if you can make them smoothly transist, right? Transition is the word. But you can do it with a pen, with markers is a completely different thing about pen pressure. Like you're gonna make different amounts of ink with how hard you're pressing. But we'll get to that in the second part of this. First, doesn't matter what this looks like. There's steps. I explained this also. I'm not going to go too much over it again, but there are steps, and we can't do step 1 and 5 and 6 and 7 and think our artwork is going to look the same as when we do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and get to the end result. Yeah, we have to do the steps because the steps are necessary, even for even more so for artists who have been doing it for a long time. the longer we've been doing it, the more we know that we need to like okay. I'm gonna just keep on drawing my little, so I just did first basic shapes to just see where my drawing is gonna go. I did a few different ones also, even because I wasn't happy with the first one. Now I'm just going to start drawing out a little body like that. She's turned a little bit towards this side, so over here there's going to be a slight little, and this one is going to be a little side boob shown also, so like that. Okay, and then usually right there, like this. I can draw men, but I'm not as good with drawing men as what I'm with like over exaggerated curvaceous females. I'm better at curvaceous females, like pin-up style, but more like cutesy, like chibi cutesy kind of. Now I'm changing the shape, I know, but whatever. There's no rules. This is the rough sketch, so it doesn't matter. I'll probably give her like boots or something, so I can like not have issues with her legs. What clothes am I gonna give her? Okay, I know. The good old. And I always thought kind of from this side. Oh, where's my glove? Anyways, where's my glove? Oh, always thought from the one side, like the opposite side of which hand I write with. Is that dripping? No, it's not. Just making sure. Okay. Add arm, it's going to be slightly behind her. And then coming like out like that. Okay, and I give her a bit bigger. Something like that. Yeah, something like that. And then like, ooh, I have a cool idea. No, it's gonna be too complicated for this. Is it? Is it gonna make it easier? Probably gonna make it easier. Let's do it that way. So what I'm thinking is this. That. And we're just gonna see it. And the boo. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh guys, sweet. Right, and then I like them to have a little, the other way around, yeah, that way around, like this. A little curvaceousness there. Love handles, cute. I know. Right, and then I'm gonna give her a scared. Like that. There will be a gap over there for extra boy power effect. I like that shit. Look at me, though. We'll give her boots again. Once again. Sure. What kind of boots is she gonna? Let's give her boots. She's gonna wear like. Oh no! Let's do like socksies. Socksies. And then boots over the socksies. Yeah. But I feel like I'm not gonna do the feet. We'll put her feet in clouds because feet is a whole other fucking ball game. Whew. Okay, face and hands. Face is gonna be here, so her hair is gonna like be hanging in front of most of her eyes because I don't want to really draw eyes right now, which is weird. I know usually I love drawing eyes, but today I do not feel like it that much, so I do want to just have a bit of an eye there. Yeah. Then like lots of hair in front of eyes, where the ears will be over there. Yeah, and then we can put some hair going behind the ear, like over here in front. Don't even want to show both eyes at all. Like, yeah, I'm just gonna have the hair come completely like over her shoulder and hanging over here like this, and then some behind. Okay, now we can like kind of clean it up from here on. We can like kind of finesse it a bit, and then we're gonna chase that onto a paper when we're happy with the line art that we've now come up with, and then we are gonna color it with markers afterwards. Like this. And there is like guides to how to do this. I've been doing it too long, so I kind of know how to sketch it until it makes sense. Yeah, there we go. See, that's a hand, so easy. The other one we don't even have to draw. We can like make a little finger come out there, and that's about all we need to do for this hand. Yeah, little finger that's going there. Not even. No, that finger doesn't even make sense. No, we're not gonna even have that finger going there. Oh, come on. Here we go. Right, and then also her nose will be going like this, and then but the idea is that mostly it's going to be covered by hair. I'm going to have lots of hair hanging over her face. She's all like shy girl and stuff. Woohoo! Okay, let me just take a second to drink a slicky of water. Okay. because I do want to get to the part where we're working with markers. I might have to skip this and like just show you a little bit of the markers so long, and have to go do an exercise or two. But I think we can make it. I think I'll just start with the markers when we're done with the lesson. Sorry if I'm not talking very loud. My voice is feeling very raspy. Raspy voice. Guy, start like with this. So this is a 4B now. So that we can do like more defined lines more easily. See, like that. Make a little nose at least stick out from there. And then we'll have more ink behind that. And then over here. I'll keep on like making little sketch lines now and then just to see where am I going with this, and then I'll go back to like making very defined lines when I know where I'm going with this. It's the whole point of sketching it out first. We're getting somewhere, slowly but surely. Getting there. Guy, looking good. There we go. A little bit of a scared look on her face. looking good. Looking so good. Almost done with the line art part. And the only way you can get used to like drawing these things as easily and quickly as I can at this point is just drawing them over and over and then looking at them and trying to figure out what am I doing wrong, why is it looking out of proportion. Like, even if you have to projector it and put the projector over your sketch so you can see where the fuck you went wrong, do that. Fucking do it. Doesn't matter. It's not cheating. Tracing isn't cheating either. Unless you are tracing another person's work to make it look exactly the same as what that person made it look like, it's not cheating. I don't know if people knew this. Don't know where that fucking idea came from. Definitely not from the artist community. Definitely from the outside world. Definitely not us that started that one. Ooh, so cute. Loving it. Da 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 da. I'll just do small little shadows for myself for later. Just when I'm gonna redo it now, I'm paint like with the markers. I'm not gonna be having these shadows on there or looking at them. They are now just in my mind as okay, that's where the shadow goes. This is where that one goes, and then okay, we're gonna make this one over here, and etc. etc. You get me? Get the gist. I wish I had that one over here. This one perhaps. Oh no, I fucked up. Fucked up. My own guidelines. That. Again, these are just little shadows for myself for later. Just no, they don't need to be any kind of good. They just references for later. Need to sharpen my pencil again. So close to being done with the line art. Then we can trace this and then we can start with the coloring. I feel like I'm gonna, yeah, I'm probably gonna do a small, while I'm drawing, I'm thinking also about how I'm gonna fit everything into an hour. Because the hour is already almost done. It goes so quickly when I'm doing a lesson. Lessons are so hard to fit into an hour. I need to make it like an hour and a half. But I'll go do the rest of my normal life. That's kind of what I wanted to say actually. Then over here. Oh, the rest of the hand is probably going to come out like this. Right there. Now that I'm... See, I'll like take my pencil and not draw, but like go over it in my head. Yo, I wish I could show everyone what it looks like in my head when I'm drawing. Because I can see where the things need to go, and then I can like kind of use my pencil like this to figure it out. Feel me? Like that. It's probably gonna be there somewhere. And then little belly button like this. And I have a small little under boob over there. Oh no, no, I'm fucking the under boob up over here. And then over there. Because this thing needs to go over there. Okay, let me just draw these. lines. There we go. Okay. But the hair will be kind of like covering most of it. And I do like having little belly, little hip bone situation going on. Small, I don't know, it makes me feel like she's not as skinny as what it seems, and the hairlines are screwing with me there. Okay, then little skirt. Again, just gonna make slight shadows for myself here and there where I'm gonna be coloring them in. They don't need to be pronounced or like detailed shadows. They can just be rough. It can all just be rough. And then over there, like this. Okay, I would say we're ready to transfer it onto a different paper and try and do a little bit of the, actually I might go over the hour a bit, that's fine. Must go check on the video afterwards if you weren't able to look here the whole time. I do feel like I need to go over it a slight bit, but I have another live planned for 15 minutes after this one, so yeah, we'll see. We'll see a bit. Let me do the lesson part of the markers, and then I will go do the practice part on the other live, and then I'll just cut them together when I make the video. How about that? Look at this nice paper. You see this nice paper? Let me see if I can bring it closer so you can see. Can you see the riffles on it? It's like very textured. See? Very textured. That's what we're looking for in a paper that we're going to be using markers on and like shading and making look like artwork. Need the artwork paper. I think it's more for like watercolor. Oh, it's for oil, gouache, multimedia, acrylics. I like these. It's dollar painting pad. Very nice. Very nice. And I do have whatchamacallit paper now. Tracing paper. But if you don't have tracing paper, you can just use a black pencil and like scratch everywhere on the back of this and then go like this, and then just, there is a video on my YouTube about this. The potion video shows how I do that. I'll make a separate video about it eventually. I'm sorry, I'm not completely consumed yet. I keep on not healing completely before I come back to work. Oh well. Where did I put that paper? There is that paper. Okay. For this part, however, I will be getting my mechanical pencil for this part. And we'll just trace it over, but I'm not gonna, I'll do all of that in my other line. First, let's get the markers. We get this paper, and I'll show you on this paper. how to practice pen pressure and what pen pressure means when you're working with markers, and how to work with markers, or like how to start working with markers, basically. Almost there. Okay. Right. So let's say something easy. Let's make something easy. Let's say I wanna show you guys how to make a neon light thing, like the neon effect, by just drawing it, but I feel like that's too complicated for now. So let's just make something plain, like a flower and a leaf. Okay, let's just do a flower and a leaf. You're going to want to grab something that is like the palest part of what you're going to be working with when you're working with markers. You want to start with the lightest color that's going to be in that part that you're going to be drawing. All right, so I didn't even see that one. That one was what I was looking for last night when I was doing the coloring picture. Oh my goodness. Anyways, I'm gonna take like a pale yellow. Yeah, pale yellow for the center part of the flower. I'll make it nice and big. Okay, so first things first, when you're doing a section and you want the entire section to look equally colored, you want to be quick. You don't want this to dry, because the moment it dries and you go over it again, it'll have a different color. So you want to be very quick. That's why we have a big end to this also. That's why there's a big side and a small side, so that you can make it nice and even. You see, now I went over it twice, so now the entire thing is going to be like a little bit. Can you see what I'm doing though? I don't know. I feel like the light is too much in here. Yes, there we go. That's better. Ah, it's better. Okay. So you want to be quick, right? Quick. Then to like, first let it dry. Let it dry completely, because you're going to see the real color of the marker when it dries. It's usually like weird and dark and blotchy when it's still busy drying, but once it's dry, it'll have like total different color to it. Okay, then let's do the flower part. So what I'm gonna do to make it easier for myself, so I can have like an outside line also, is I'm first gonna draw the flower with like a slightly darker color than what I'm gonna color it in with, and then I'll color it in. So I think I'm gonna do like this one. Let's see, yes, this one, and see, yes, this one. Okay, so I'm gonna do for now a medium pink and a pale light pink. Okay, so with the pale light pink, I'm gonna just draw the flower petals for myself. You see how I'm holding the pen now? That is so I can make the nicely defined lines. Okay, and then with the other pink, but with a big side, so I can show you how to use this side also. And again, try and work from one side, and like don't let it dry before you're done doing the area. See, like that. See. Okay. And I'll do the same for there. I'm running out of time, so I'm gonna move to the shading part of the inside. And also, if you want a very little bit of color where you want to go, you want to probably like do this. You see where you're like making lines away from it, so that but I'm doing it wrong now. Oh, I'm so coughing. And I have taken a sip of water. My throat just stays dry. But yeah, the less of this you put on there, the less opaque the color is going to be. And if you want it to be even, you need to do the even while it's wet. Otherwise it's going to look blotchy. There we go. See, like that. Now that part's going to have very little bit of opacity. It's going to be more pale, like more light. Look like watercolor. Pretty sure you can take a small drop of water and use it to move this around also. I'm pretty sure you'll be able to do that. Anyway, it's right. Now let's take like a darker yellow so I'm going to go for like melon yellow, I think. And then we're going to just go over this center like this to make a little shadow, you know, like some depth to this flower. And if you wanted to have a white bit, I would recommend getting at least a white in an acrylic marker, because if you want to add white on top of here, you're going to need acrylic markers, not this. This is alcohol markers. No? But if you are fine with like being able to leave space for the white, then you can do it this way. I don't always leave white bits on. I leave like space open if I'm going to put a white bit on. And then let's take a pale, this pink, a little bit of a darker pink, right, for the leafsies. And when I'm doing the coloring part, right, I'm really just touching lightly. Now you can practice to like work with your markers, as you can also do the line thing where you're doing like this, and then like maybe like one like that, try like maybe a lighter one, and maybe like make this one darker, and also it will make a thinner stripe the lighter you press. Yeah, thick stripe, thin stripe. Okay, so that is it for the base lesson. I'm going to quickly take a break, and then I will be on main live to trace this and color it. I'm going to trace and color this, try and finish it today. I think I can, but this is for now. This is how I made that, but I put lines in between. So if you want to make it like look really nice and finished, you'll probably come in with a black marker or a fine liner, probably a black fine liner. Always have one of those somewhere, but this is not it. And just come make some nice black lines. See, like that, because that'll give it that finished look. We usually don't use markers for realistic things. It's usually for like comic book art or like animated art or like digital looking art, you know, because this is the kind of effects that I know to do with it. I mean, you can make lighter and lighter. You can use the, which one is it? This one, no, the other one, this one, the medium pink, over that one to make like even more of a smoother gradient of color. Yeah, you can do that. And we do have a blender, but the blender one doesn't work the way you would think it works. I feel like that'll be a whole separate lesson by itself eventually, but see, that'll make it a bit smoother, so you can use a shade in between that one and that one. That's markers in a nutshell. Just got to get used to like working quickly with them and accurately. Quickly and accurately, yes. Okay, sweet. I don't want to put this on top of Hello Kitty. She's so cute. Put it underneath this thing. Oh yeah. Here we go. Okay. Check you guys in a small little bit. Bye. Thank you for being here.